We've finally broken the curse. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it, man. I genuinely can't believe it. Just hit a 1 to 2.1 RR trade. About time, bro. I was genuinely just so in my head, like actually. And then today I came in there, I was like, you know what, bro? I don't care, man. I'm just gonna look at what these little candles do. And if there's something, I'm gonna use my logic, reasoning, and experience and what I have done in the past on months where I've literally gone undefeated and be like, okay, since this happened, why did it happen? And then what will happen next? But just gonna dive straight into the recap. Give me 1 second. Up a bando across all the accounts today. About time. And yeah, I'll show executions and then we'll get into the reasoning. And yeah, bet. So let's hit a replay here. Get rid of this and I will come back to that later. Replay, market open. Focus on NQ mainly just because you can't replay two at one time. But let's dive straight into it. Coming into the morning, I really didn't have a bias. Again, that was another issue. I was just forcing my bias like way too early. So I'm like, okay, I do see a lot of bearish SMT, so I'll keep that in mind. But I'm not even telling myself I'm bearish at this point. So I'm like, okay, cool, a lot of bearish SMT over on ES. This is reversed to where it's a bearish 3 drive pattern. So I'm like, okay, that is pretty strong confluence, but we'll just have to wait and see what market open does. Looking at the hourly, ignore how it wicked down. I was seeing how we were respecting this daily fair value gap here. If we zoom out to the daily, can see that wicks to the damage, bodies tell the story. Wick fully mitigated it and tapped up on out of it. Then we got a strong body close. Coming into today, I saw that we were already displacing pretty low. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. 4 hour was telling me nothing at market open because this 4 hour candle was within here, so I really couldn't use it as confluence. 1 hour, excuse me, excuse me. 1 hour, same thing. The hourly was still chilling in all this price action. I was looking at this hourly fair value gap, but then I was like, I'm probably just gonna look at the 4 hour because if price displaces out of that, we're gonna see a lot of movement. 15-minute, I just noted the internal bearish S&Ts. I'm like, okay, marked out my internal sell side levels right here, right here. So I'm like, okay, cool, fantastic. Let's see what happens at the open. Bro, did I not replay? This is so cringe. So with that being said, now you know how I was thinking coming into the day. So boom, at open, both ES and NQ come up, tap this 5-minute fair value gap, and then start moving lower. We see moves, and then NQ starts to flush down, while over on ES, they're left behind this 1-minute fair value gap. I was going to get involved off of this, but we never ended up coming up and tapping it, so that didn't happen. Then what ended up happening? We just kept selling off, sold off, sold off, sold off. Boom, come down, take the first sell side level. I think, no, this is the second sell side level. Yeah, that lower wick low. So I'm like, dang, bro, we just sold off like 280 points. Dope. So now I'm like, okay, probably not going to take anything today just because nothing seems to be setting up. We tap down into this hourly bullish fair value gap, but again, I'm not really interested in this. It's just because that's where the lower sell side level here is residing. So I'm like, I bet. Zooming back to here. At this point, I'm still bearish because that was another windfall and pitfall I was having. I would see an important low like this get taken, and for whatever reason, my brain automatically was flipping bullish or flipping bearish if it was a high, and that was cooking me, and I don't know why I was doing that. But I'm like, okay, I'm still relatively bearish just because of how price has been reacting. Boom, we see movement higher. At first here, I was even potentially looking for longs, but then I'm like, okay, bro, the market has literally not told me it wants to go higher. Nothing has happened besides a slight displacement move higher. So I'm like, okay, bro, snap out of it. Snapped out of it, changed thought process, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to watch, observe what the market does. I was looking for maybe an internal bearish SMT after that, seeing if price would come up here, take it, and then leave it on ES because it was so much further. As you can see, this was the same respective high, and this was the high right here. And over on NQ, they're way closer. So I'm like, okay, maybe NQ will come up and put in an SMT. but that doesn't end up happening. I start eyeing this 1 minute fair value gap here. After that, waiting to see it get turned inverse. Once it got turned inverse right here, I was fairly confident in it. I didn't quite put my limit, I don't think, though. I waited. Right here, I put my limit. I wasn't too concerned that there wasn't the change in the state yet, just because of the low I was targeting. And ES, I don't think, did ES take the low? ES hadn't taken the low yet when I put the limit. So boom, ES takes the low right here. Actually, ES takes the low on this candle. So I'm like, okay, bet. Put my limit here. Looking great. We have the change in the state. I'm not concerned with the SMT, as I talked about before. I'm not going to let one small internal SMT counteract what the market is obviously screaming at me that it wants to do, which is to go lower. So I'm like, okay, cool. Have my limit here, stop above this high. Even though this high isn't an SMT, it's still just the internal high. So I'm like, okay, bet. I'll put my stop there. So I go ahead and go like this, stop at the high. It is a freaking large stop, 56 points. But with how volatile market was, it really doesn't matter because like it's a 1 to 2.1. All that matters is the risk to reward and the quality of the setup. But this had everything I need except that SMT. So it was still very high quality just because of how bearish we were. That's the only reason I took it. Get involved right here. Targeting lower, barely get tapped, I think. Yeah, we literally get wicked in, which is dope. And obviously looking back, stop could have been lower because there was no SMT. Could have been something like this, or this, or this, but let's be real, nah, that's too tight of a stop for me. Realistically, it would have been something like that, but again, I took it over this internal high. Was targeting this as my risk-free point because my confidence was shot, not in this trade, just because of past. And that was honestly a mistake. Don't let your past like affect your current trade, just live in the moment. But had a risk-free point mad early, so I'm like, okay, bet, I'm going risk-free. Another reason, this 10 a.m. hourly candle, wanted to see it disrespect this 1 hour fair value gap. And with this big move down, I'm like, okay, bro, let's be real. We're probably going to disrespect it. So I go risk-free, see this candle. I'm like, cool, sweet, probably going to get taken. Get rid of this. And then at that 10 a.m., boom, close lower, displacing through, taking my target, low-hanging fruit. No more, no less. And ended up on the day 235, and they're gonna, Apex is gonna add another 170 to this balance, so this account will be same as these 265 in prof, just because of all the trade evade issues yesterday. I was in a trade and it wouldn't let me do anything. It wouldn't let me close. It wouldn't let me freaking move my stop. It wouldn't let me do nothing. And I got proof. I got a whole video recording too. So I want my 175 back. And yeah, freaking finally the curse is broken. And it was as simple as being like, okay, price is doing this, so let me wait, see a response to what I'm thinking, and then react. And look what happens when you react, when you're not forcing your will in the market. Take literally a beautiful trade. We weren't in drawdown literally at all. 0 seconds of drawdown. Quick delivery, quick move lower. Price sold off big time today. Obviously, we weren't able to capitalize off of anything at market open because there was nothing. And on ES, there was that setup, but it didn't get filled, so it doesn't matter because it wasn't a setup. If it was set up, it would have got filled. But yeah, all I got, about freaking time. Go over to the top steps. Took it with fat size just because I'm trying to get them past. 1500 on the top steps. Need to get them a little more, get them past. But yeah, why did this one only make 235? Bruh, Apex is interesting, that's for sure. I want my extra $30, man. Like, actually. But it is what it is. Great trade today. Finally breaking the curse of like a billion losing trades in a row. Losing streak has been broken. Doesn't mean I won't take a loser soon. Probably will take one very soon. But just needed this to help mentally. And now fully re-locked in. Not worrying about the outcome of any given trade. Just the series of trades. And yeah, about time. Great trade today. That's all I got. Gonna hop off the charts, go to the gym. And it's as simple as that. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.